Hi everyone, Aiden here with eTrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RockyMounts GuideRail 2-bike rack here on our 2018 Infiniti QX60. Now the GuideRail is going to be a platform style bike rack capable of holding up to 2 bikes. It's going to hold the bikes by the tires here on the front and the back, which means zero frame contact, making it good for our carbon frame bikes, our alternative frame bikes, and with a 60-pound weight capacity per bike, even good for our e-bikes, so we can accommodate a large variety of bikes here. Like many other bike racks in this class, you do have the ability to tilt it away with the bikes loaded, and that is a great advantage of a platform style rack over something like a hanging style. Now this does tilt down a lot, so just be mindful of that when you are using this, that if you've got it fully loaded, especially with 2 e-bikes, that's a lot of weight coming down on you at once. So just be careful when you are coming down with it that it does come low to the ground. With this though, we have plenty of room to get stuff out of the back if we need it, whether it be a helmet, our bike shoes, or just some water. Then we can tilt the rack back up into place, and it'll lock back in. You can see we're getting a pretty good hold on the bike here in the rack. This does a good job of holding it still, and these wheel trays give a little bit of cradle to the tire as well. Now, one of my favorite things about the GuideRail here is how easy it is to unload. If we come down to this point here, we've got these blue levers. All we got to do is flip that up to disengage the ratcheting mechanism on the arm there, and then all we can do is just push that out from a good point of leverage here. So it's really easy to get these arms wide open for this long wheelbase bike here and get it out without any obstructions. And it's nice also that we don't have to hold down a button to disengage that ratcheting mechanism. We can just flip the lever and it stays disengaged. So then this freely moves this way, and we can just throw that lever and you can hear it start to ratchet again, and it's locked in. So for me, that's really simple and intuitive to use, and I don't have to worry about holding down a button down here where I maybe don't have as good of leverage. Now with it like this, let's get some measurements, starting with our ground clearance. We have this stadium style design where the back tray is actually quite a bit higher than the front one. It's also going to get us a lot of extra ground clearance with about 22.5 inches of clearance right here at the end of the rack, and about 21.5 inches of clearance at this handle right here at the back. So overall, very good clearance. You shouldn't have to worry about bottoming out on any sort of steep driveways or hills. It does add a bit to the back of the vehicle though, and from the bumper to the end of the rack, we're looking right at 28 inches. Not the best, not the worst. It does stick out a little bit, but when we don't have bikes loaded, we can come to that same handle, fold the rack upright, and condense it down quite a bit. And here we're looking at 11 inches added to the back. So it's a lot more condensed, a lot more out of the way. If you do want to pull in your garage, you might be able to, depending on the clearance you have. Just be mindful that it's back there. It does also come fairly close to the bumper here. At the closest point here, it's about 1.5 inches away, which doesn't sound like a lot, but this is a very sturdy rack. There's not really any sort of movement at that pivot point, which there is with some other racks. So for me, I'm not worried about it making contact. Now down here at the hitch, it is going to fit in a 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube and come with a locking anti-rattle bolt that's going to keep things stable and secure in the hitch. That lock is key to the lock up top here, so we can take the included chain, wrap it around our bikes, and lock it to the rack when we're not around. And overall, the GuideRail for me is a very solid choice. You can hold a lot of different types of bikes, and it's going to be really simple and easy to use, and I think a very good fit for your Infiniti here. Thanks for watching.